Hi, how you doing? Today I want to talk a little bit about the decision structures, okay? Remember there's three different types of structures. Number one is sequential. Number two is decision or selection. And number three is repetition, or sometimes referred to as iteration. Okay? So we're not to iteration yet, but you should have already, we've done sequential. That means just line after line, okay, as we go. And then decision, selection is what we're going to concentrate on today. And then in future weeks we'll be talking about repetition. I think I got an extra T here or whatever. So anyway, that's what we're going to look at, okay? So when we talk about decisions, there's three different really reserved words that we talk about in Java. The first one is if, okay? And if statements have what we would call one result. They only return one result. We also have else if, which would be two results. And then we have the switch, or in other languages, or in generics, would be called the case structure. And this one can have multiple results. Okay? So I'm going to draw these for you now. Okay? So the first one I'm going to draw is the if statement. And the if statement, if you remember here, it says we're going to have one result. So it kind of looks like this. If I was flowcharting this, I would have some type of decision here. Okay? The triangle, or I'm sorry, the diamond like that is the decision. And it either goes true or false. Some people have the false coming out the bottom. I prefer it going out like that. And then if it's true, it does something. This is a process, some type of process that it does. And then these come back together. So it's simple like this. Okay? So if, this is my test, if something happens here, and it's true, we do something. If it isn't true, we don't do anything at all. So that's the if. Then I have the else if, okay? Where, starting very similar to what we had, okay? Again, we have some type of decision here. And if it's true, we go this way, down to some process. Let's call this process 1. If not, we go over here. This is the false. Looks pretty much like an if, right? But over here, if it's not true, we also do something. So we'll call this process 2. Okay, comes down like that and back into our code to either do some sequential thing, or it might be doing a repetition of some type. But all in all, this is the structure itself. Now again, we can nest these inside of one another. Okay, by nesting I mean we had sequential, we had decision, we had repetition. I can put those inside of each other and make bigger and bigger structures, okay? They're counted as one, each one counted separately, but I can nest them to make them do things I want. Finally, when we're talking about decisions and that, in Java, we have something called the switch. Okay? And switch, just like that. And basically it takes some argument that goes in here. Okay? It might be count or something like that. But anyway, it looks kind of like this. Comes down, and we have our diamond here, but instead of doing the true and false here, we put it like this, okay? So if something happens over here, like maybe this is the count is equal to 0 or something. And this one might be if the count is equal to 1. Or, oh, it could be anything. How about college, what year in college you're at? Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Okay? So depending on the condition here of our test, we do different processes. And again, they can be multiple in nature. Now, in Java, however, the switch is very limited in that it only works on one. I can't say if the gender is equal to female and their income is less than $500 a week and they're a senior. I can't do stuff like that with my switch. It's more like I just said, if they're a first year or a freshman, if they're a sophomore, if they're a junior, if they're a senior. It has to be one condition that we're comparing as we move along. Okay? So that's kind of my little spiel, a little bit of flow charting for you on this. And come back and I'll see you in a future video.